Brake for left 3, keep in. And right 5, brake for left 3, short open, long over crest.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, and yeah, I'm back on WRC 8. Now this is a game that when I first played it I really wanted to spend a lot of time enjoying this one, but unfortunately working a full-time job and trying to put content together for this channel means I don't actually get a lot of free time to just sit down and enjoy something, and unfortunately WRC 8 has taken a bit of a back seat. Now I did do a review for this game, which I'm sure most of you have probably seen here already on the channel, but obviously if you haven't, please do go and check that out. But when you're doing a review like that, you do need to get a feel for the game, so I did spend some time with it. Primarily though, it was all in quick events. I also used the free roam area a lot, and when it came to career, I tried to put in a couple of weeks as such within game time to get a feel for exactly what they were doing, so you could get the idea of the fact that there was different events in between the main rally stages as well. So I did all of that, but unfortunately I just haven't had a chance, like I say, to get back to that career mode, which is what I really wanted to do today. So what I've decided to do is actually continue the career I used for that review, and in that I jumped straight into the WRC 2 category, which if you don't already know, the cars are 280 brake horsepower. They all run on 1.6 litre turbocharged engines, and I actually chosen the Hyundai i20 to race with. So they're not quite as exciting as their big WRC brothers, however they're a great place to start, and they're also a little bit more exciting than the WRC juniors. So as you can see from the video that you are currently watching, when I came back into the career I was actually up to the Argentinian rally, and I dived straight into it, and that is the footage you are actually seeing. So I am a little bit rusty here. Obviously I've been playing a whole load of different racing games, and I've just come straight back to this to put this video together for you all. And before anyone asks, yes, I am using a controller. I do also use a G29, but for the purposes of this video I was just chilling out, to be honest, comfortable on the sofa with a controller in my hand, and it just seemed the best way to play at that moment. Now on to the reason for actually making this video, and it seems to be quite a big topic. Certainly on the last video I uploaded for this game, a lot of you took the time to actually go to the comment section and write your opinion on the game itself. And what was immediately apparent was the fact that there's a huge rivalry between WRC and Dirt. Now I know this has been the case for a long time, but let's be fair, for the vast majority of it, and this is my opinion so don't shoot me for this, but I would say that Dirt has been relatively unrivaled for a very, very long time, and certainly from a console point of view, there's not really been anything else worth playing in terms of rally here on the consoles. However, now WRC 8 has turned up, and it's turned up fighting, and it's doing very, very well. It seems to be that, yeah, there's a lot of people with very high opinion of one game versus the other. Now I can't be the only person that's noticed this, and to be honest with you, I have spoken to quite a few of you within that comment section and got some really interesting sided facts about each game of why you guys enjoy one more than the other. But I have to say that I am quite surprised. It's a whole fanboy scenario in a lot of cases, very much like the whole Xbox, PlayStation argument, PC versus Mac. There's people with very, very high opinions for one side or the other. But I'm sitting right in the middle, to be honest with you, and I'm going to give you my reasons for why. But before I do that, it is very important that you all know that if you'd asked me about a month ago my opinion on this, I would definitely 100% have been classed as a Dirt fanboy. And to be honest with you, I still am. I've followed that franchise forever, since it was Colin McRae back on the PlayStation, and I've followed it all the way through. I haven't missed a single game. I've played them all. I've loved every single one of them. And that is never going to change, and I'm going to continue to buy every single Dirt game coming out, I can assure you, for many years to come. So, like I say, I don't want you to think that I'm not a huge Dirt fan. I really am. If anything, I have been very much converted to the ways of WRC via this one single release that has come out. WRC 7, 6 and 5. I own all three of them. I haven't enjoyed a single one of them. However, WRC 8 I think is a very, very good game. Most of the opinions I've seen people giving on other people's videos, my own videos, or wherever I'm looking, all tend to be down to the same things. So we're going to cover those now, and the first one I want to touch upon is actually the physics. Now, Dirt Rally has been, again, the king of this for a very long time, in my opinion. And I will just say again, I have not played Richard Burns Rally on the PC, so I have no point of reference from that. I'm really talking about these two games which seem to be the main rivals here. So like I say, Dirt Rally and Codemasters really have been unrivaled with this. The previous WRC titles have never felt quite right, and I think it's the best way to describe it is believable physics. Now, I've never driven a rally car. I'm sure most of you out there haven't either that are actually playing these games. However, you have in your head the idea of what a rally car should feel like, and Dirt Rally has always managed to achieve that. And it does it in a way that actually makes you feel really good when you get things right. It's a very rewarding physics engine, and like I say, WRC has never achieved that up until WRC 8. And there is going to be many of you that disagree with me out there. But this is the first time I've been able to jump from Dirt over to WRC and it to feel perfectly normal between the two of them. WRC always felt like an alien game to me after playing a Dirt Series game. And interestingly enough, the only real people that I've noticed moaning about the physics within WRC 8 actually tend to be the people that have been long-standing WRC fans. And it's because it's such a big difference from 7 to 8. And I don't think they particularly like it. They've obviously been playing that series for a long time. I can't give my point of reference on that. I really haven't put that much time into the previous games. But all I can say is this time round, the game feels fantastic. And in fact, one part of this is quite a major reason that a lot of people are going to WRC. And it is a big point that has been an issue with Dirt for a little while now. And that is actually the tarmac physics. WRC 8 feels amazing when it comes to the tarmac. The cars actually grip. As soon as you hit anything loose, you really feel a huge difference. Whereas the Dirt Series, it's pretty well publicised. A lot of people feel the same way, but the tarmac just does not feel right. You're still drifting way too much on that surface. And again, this is just a perceived realism. I have no idea what a rally car drives like on tarmac, but in my head, I feel like I do know. And like I say, both games have done a lot of things right, but WRC 8 definitely feels better on tarmac. Swinging it the other way though, you've got on Dirt Rally deformation of tracks, which made far more of an impact than I was actually expecting it to. It really does challenge the way that you drive each stage. It's something that's missing from WRC, certainly to that sort of level. But equally, like I say, both games do something there that the other one doesn't, and they both do these things really well. Moving on from there, you've got dynamic weather on WRC 8, which isn't seen in Dirt Rally. It again can really change the way you drive your car. You're going to drop quite a lot of time as soon as it starts raining, and as soon as the sun comes out, you can pick up your speed again. It's an impressive part of the game that, you know, it should be in both games by now. Also, you've got tyre wear in WRC 8, but then the audio in Dirt Rally is so much better, according to most people. Personally, I don't mind either game, to be honest. I think they both sound pretty good. But the thing is, we could do this all day. There seems to be an argument for both sides. And the reason there is an argument for both sides is because both games are actually really good. Now, all that aside, the most important thing to me is actually the fact that we have now got two really good rally games. And I know you're not all going to agree with that. I appreciate that. This is my opinion and I'm just sharing it with you. But the fact that we now have two really good rally games is important. For the last however many years, Dirt Rally, for me at least, has been that #1 go-to rally game in all of its many forms. And it's never had a real competition from anyone. WRC has sat and done what it's always done, which has had a small following and whatever else, and I understand that people have really enjoyed that game, and that's great. I've got no issues with that whatsoever. But what we now have, like I say, is two really good rally franchises, and what that actually means is that Codemasters now has a bit of friendly competition, and competition always leads to good things within gaming. Both WRC 8 and Dirt Rally 2 have got some big parts to them that the other game doesn't have. And I can guarantee that both of these companies are going to take from one another and try and create something using those parts. The parts that everybody really likes. And like I say, all we're going to actually get out of this is forget the argument between which one's better. Both companies are going to push forward now even further, and what we can expect is even better games in the future. The same is true with Formula 1. Again, Codemasters have the monopoly on that game. There's no one competing with them within that space. But just imagine if there was another company out there who decided to start doing Formula 1 games. I appreciate that's going to be difficult down to licensing and everything like that. But if they could do a game similar to it that was actually just as good in many ways, and it had certain areas were a little bit better, all it's going to do then is push Codemasters to work even harder. Now, Codemasters has already got an incredibly good R&D section within Formula 1 games, but they haven't decided to put it into Dirt. But now maybe they will, after seeing that WRC have done it. They've got their skill tree and how well that works. Now that can be implemented brilliantly into Dirt Rally, and we could start getting, like I say, better and better games, all because now there is a competition between the two. And that for me is why WRC 8 is such an important title, not just because it's a really good game, and it is a really good game. I know there's going to be plenty of you out there saying, no it's not, I prefer Dirt, and equally there'll be people on the other side saying exactly the opposite. But the reality is, and just like my review said, we now have two actually very competent, very enjoyable to play rally games. If you choose to play one rather than the other, that's fine. But for me, I really like the genre. I would like to play both, and they are both, like I say, very competent racers. Feel free to use that comment section down below to let me know your thoughts on what I've said today. Like I say, I appreciate not everyone is going to agree with me, and you are more than welcome to tell me that fact down below. But personally, like I've just said to you, I think having two games is definitely better than one, and I think the competition is only going to encourage development. If you've enjoyed what you've seen today on the channel, this isn't typically what I do. I feel like I've gone on a little bit of a rant today. But if you do fancy subscribing, I would really appreciate it. And also give the video a like. It really helps them grow when you do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.